Alrighty. Lots going on. Holy shnikes, we got a lot to talk about today. Honestly, again, I'm trying to hold myself to in my half an hour, 40-minute max rule here. I mean, I could go for hours today. There's so many things to talk about, but yeah, I don't want to do that. Joe Rogan is, he's obviously the biggest and best out there, and his podcast, it goes on for hours. It's got guests, but I just don't want to do that. I don't know about you. I mean, with podcasts, there's some good ones out there, but you don't want to constrain. I mean, if you're dealing with a 3-hour podcast, that's a bloody commitment. Now, yeah, we try to put this stuff out daily, but I mean, 3 hours. They're just talking about that new Avatar movie that's coming out. It's supposed to be like Godfather 2 length, 3 hours and something long. And I said, I'm not going to the movie theater unless you give me an intermission. I can't stand missing anything. And I like to have a Diet Coke while I'm watching, and I don't want to have to get up and go to the bathroom. Anyway, neither here nor there. We're going to be doing the 3-ring circus. Yep. 3-ring circus, the crypto circus. I'm gonna cut through all the BS and the conventional wisdom. I mean, because there's just rivers of bullshit that are flowing right now out of Washington and a myriad of places when it comes to this. First and foremost, Sam Bankman-Fried arrested in the Bahamas. Well, I'll get a story here. We'll go to it. FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried arrested by Bahamian authorities after the United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York shared a sealed indictment with the Bahamian government, setting the stage for extradition and U.S. trial for the one-time crypto billionaire. Again, let's try to follow the bouncing ball here. First and foremost, extradition. Easy. That's not an easy thing to do. I'm sure we've got some agreements going on with the Bahamas, but lawyers love this. They can hold this stuff up forever in 10 days, for crying out loud. So that's going to slow things down. The other thing, why now? How many people out there, let's see how smart you are. How many people out there, their little light bulb went off when they saw this, saying, wait a second, wasn't he supposed to testify in front of Congress? Not now. Why in the world would they arrest him right before think about this, right before he could go in front of Congress and maybe screw up and further implicate himself? Why would you do that? Why, as a prosecutor, why would you do that? Okay. He's digging a hole. Okay. And you want him to stop digging? And he's in that hole and you want to get him? Yeah. I'm going to tell you why. I don't think they want him to testify. Sam Bankman-Fried. I mean, you got the new CEO of the company that's was involved with the Enron bankruptcy, and what was his line? He said today. He said there was no sophistication at all, zero sophistication at all at FTX. It was just straight up embezzlement. Now, all you people that hey, yeah, if I were an investor in Sequoia, I'd be suing their ass. Absolutely. Look at all these people. You didn't even look into this. Like I said, I saw that it was a scam in 30 seconds or less. Yeah, you should do a new television show. Name that ripoff. Name that scam. I can name that scam, and it doesn't take me long to see through right through this bullshit. And the funny thing is, guys, members of Congress that I never agree with. I mean, there's some far left-wing one. Maxine Waters. I rip on her all the time. But she actually raised a question like, why did you arrest him now? And then there's another one. He's a far left Democrat, California, Brad Sherman, basically, talking about, FTX is a snake. And he says, no, he says, crypto, I'm paraphrasing. He says, a garden of snakes, a multitude of snakes. And he's right. And you got Republicans that I'm listening to coming out and defending the crypto industry. Oh, we've got to admit, whether we like it or not, we are in a crypto world. F you. You know they say to people, support this shit? Okay, you want to know all the dirtbag, human traffickers, the child porn? You want to know how they get paid? They get paid in freaking crypto. You just make their lives easier. I'm sorry. I believe it's future. You take it away from central banks. Shut the blank up. It is a scam. I'm sick and tired of hearing this bullshit. It's a scam, plain and simple. Oh, the Winklevoss twins. Yeah, they're geniuses, con artists as well. Anyway, more information coming out here. Bankman-Fried, well aware, digging into SEC's charges against the FTX CEO. Oh, the SEC. Yes, the SEC. Again, we're in full out cover your ass mode right now. Beep, beep, beep. You got cover your ass alert going on. Congress and the acronym agencies. Oh, yeah. SEC filed. What the fuck is SEC going to do? What the hell is the SEC going to do? Let's just say I'm driving. I admit it. Okay. I admit I got a bit of a lead foot, and I'm driving on a highway in Florida. I'm driving on a highway in Florida, and I'm driving a little too fast, and all of a sudden, lights go up. I get pulled over, and it's a police car from Georgia. It's a Georgia State Police. Wants to issue me a ticket. It's got no jurisdiction. What the hell? They haven't even decided whether or not crypto is an actual security. So SEC, I got to file a suit too. We got to cover our ass. No, this is the Justice Department. This is straight up fraud. This is a straight up scam. And the reason why we're having these congressional hearings today is so all of these members of Congress can get themselves on record. Oh, we care about the American citizens. Baloney, okay? What you cared about when it came to crypto is making your quota. Making your quota for the amount of money that you have to raise. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you're well aware of this. All members of Congress, they have quotas. They have to raise money. It's like they're salespeople. They got to go out and raise money. Now, and I get asked all the time, hey, Chris, you could run for office. I'd rather stick a hot poker in my eye. I'm not getting on the phone, and I'm not shaking people down for money. If they like me, they want to give me, fine. If they don't, they don't. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to participate in that nonsense. What, you think these members of Congress give a damn? They're just trying to make their quota. They'll collect a check from anybody. Oh, they get caught that the guy's a ripoff. They'll just return the money after the fact. They're all covering but nothing new is going to come out of this hearing today. Zero. What you're watching is a circus. It's a show. And again, it's a collective, honestly, it's a collective waste of taxpayer money and our time. Don't bother. Don't bother. You know, it was funny too, the timing, SEC getting involved. Here's a story. Sunlight is the best disinfectant unless you're Securities Exchange Commission Chairman Gary Gensler. Now, I just want you all to know I'm just covering these stories here. And I'll be honest, it puts me at risk. The SEC is my regulator. They're my regulator. I deal with them. We've been dealing with them for decades. Okay? We're squeaky clean. We are. And every single time I start talking about the Securities and Exchange Commission, I'm, oh boy. Are they going to, send somebody down here and make sure that, all of my files are in proper order? I mean, they can fine you for anything. And again, you're guilty. They're judge, jury, and executioner. Anyway, neither here nor there. Gary Gensler scrubbed evidence of a meeting with former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton from his calendar, along with key details of a meeting with billionaire leftist operative George Soros. He also concealed September 21 meetings with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and former Bill Clinton White House official turned DC consultant Minyon Moore. Again, Gensler's former Goldman Sachs guy, aren't they all? He was an Obama administration official, Clinton's 2016 campaign CFO, and FTX associate. He had two calendars, his public calendar, and he had another one there that they didn't take a look at. Basically running two sets of books. And from what I heard is that he was advising George Soros in an op-ed that he wanted to write to BlackRock about Larry Fink and praising his ESG, but going after them in regards to their China investments. Again, you're the chairman of the SEC, okay? Now, if you're the, you run the let's say you're in charge of Major League Baseball's umpires, and you get caught taking multiple meetings with certain teams and coaching staff and owners, be a bit problematic, right? Don't you think it'd be a bit problematic? Yeah, me too. Anyway, consumer, and I knew that was going to come in much softer. Consumer prices rose less than expected, up 7.1% from a year ago, and the trend is going down, which is good. It's good. A lot still hasn't filtered in. Food prices are still high, but they should start to break to the downside. They should. Let's hope. Housing, it still really hasn't hit the housing market as of yet. Again, it's just a lack of inventory that's out there, and it's the inventory slack. It's been there. Obviously we had supply chain disruptions during COVID, but it goes back much further than that, and we're most certainly in need for catch up there. And again, those prices need to come down. Housing prices need to come down. Used car prices have come down. I'm starting to see some break even in new car prices. I have a friend, it's anecdotal friend, ultra high price, wanted to get her daughter a Toyota RAV. I forget exactly what it was. Couldn't believe what the price was. Walked away, kept haggling, got the price way down. What does that tell you? Okay. Things are starting to come down, which is good. Markets, again, people, if you think you can trade this stuff, you're crazy. You're watching the volatility in the markets today. None of what happens today matters. Do you understand that? And when this number first hit, Dow futures were up over 900. I started laughing. So that ain't going to last. It's not going to happen. People are going to take advantage. Markets come up, take profits off the table. You're going to have all sorts of high algorithmic trading today based upon the swings. Those computerized high frequency traders that can take advantage of these swings, they're going to go ahead and they're going to do it. They're able to move markets, the type of momentum back and forth. I try to equate it to, almost the markets in days like today. It's like water. What do I mean by that? You look at the ocean. You go out into the ocean, and I'm in Florida. I'm in West Coast, Gulf of Mexico, and it's one of those days where it's like a lake. It's like flat. It's perfectly flat out there. And you swim and you're going through it and it's great. And water feels great. You don't feel, you're floating. It's no problem. But there are times when the ocean is rough and that water pushes against you and you the type of weight behind water and the power that it has, people sometimes fail to understand. This is why, they all the time, you're talking with hurricanes and whatnot, avoid, all the standing water, get out of it because it's dangerous. It's dangerous. And that's what happens when you get these swings in the market. It's momentum. Get the hell out of the way. I don't mean sell. I mean, some just don't do anything. Unless today, of course, is your day where you're paying yourself monthly, your dollar cost average. What do you care? What do you care what the markets are going to do today? Everything will work its way out. Okay. It'll smooth itself out. This type of volatility, again, based upon these numbers, who knows what the Fed is going to say tomorrow? Again, we got a lot of things that are going to transpire. Just glad to see things are starting to come down. They have a long way to go. And do I think inflation is going to remain stubbornly high for a period of time? Yes, unless, of course, you get action out of Washington, D.C. And I've said this again and again and again. I was on Fox Business yesterday, and I explained this on that program as well. Okay, the Fed is limited at what it can do. We're going to have to see what Congress can do. Can we get immigration reform? Can we do something when it comes to our labor force? Can we cut back on spending? Again, there's a lot on that as well. We'll see. We'll see what the new Republican House is going to do, or if it's going to be meet the new boss, same as the old boss. All right. Gonna talk again. This is a topic that we've covered for a while here, and again, this is not just a science topic or an energy topic. This is an economic reality topic. I lament the fact all the time when government gets involved with the private sector. I can't stand public-private partnership. I hear that. It scares me. I don't believe the government should be involved. I mentioned the umpire or referee, metaphor, analogy, whatever it may be. That's what the job of government should be. Okay, enforce the rules, not get involved, not play the game. Government does this, picks and chooses winners and losers, gets involved in certain industries, and it wreaks havoc. Now, we had that story about Stellantis basically shutting down a Cherokee plant in Illinois. Why? You got 1,300 plus workers that are laid off because of this. Why? Stellantis has to finance. They have to pay for all of the government mandated electric vehicle stuff. They don't have a choice. Okay? They don't have a choice. The government comes in like Don Corleone and Luca Brasi, and they make you an offer you can't refuse. You have to listen to what they say. Again, they're telling us this is all for our own good, right? Anyway, Stellantis needs to come up with more than $35 billion, plans to invest in EVs over the next few years. Again, this is because of government policy. Europe and several U.S. states have announced plans to ban the sale of new internal combustion engine vehicles by 2035. Stellantis spent $2.4 billion to buy regulatory credits from Tesla. Again, so stupid. Between 2019 and 2021 to comply with green mandates. The Biden fuel economy mandates could force it to spend more unless it ramps up EV production. Now, the Inflation Reduction Act gives credits for battery production, and EV buyers are modestly easing the costs of all of this government-forced transition. Many automakers currently use profits from gas-powered SUVs. Again, we talked about that yesterday, to subsidize EVs that are losing money. Now, again, we've gone over the Joseph Schumpeter economic concept of creative destruction here on the program, where something new is created and something else destroys something else, right? Well, again, it's not natural. Okay, this is not natural. This is the government getting involved in dictating the natural order of things, and this is when you run into problems. And again, I want to talk about the natural order of things. We make fun of a lot of the windmills and solar panels and all that crap that they keep pushing. Major breakthrough here. Yet the head of the Department of Energy and other federal scientific leaders announced that a fusion reaction run at the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory in California achieved net energy. I remember, this is probably 30 years ago. 30 years, I remember seeing the bubbles and the reaction. They were talking about this fusion reaction. But the problem has always been to actually produce the fusion reaction. It would take more energy than the reaction would actually produce. They've now figured it out to some degree. The reaction generated more energy than was put in to initiate the reaction. It is the first time humankind has achieved this landmark. Again, I can't overstate the importance of this enough. Okay? You can't. What is fusion energy? It's the sun. It's the sun. That's how the sun operates. Creating a useful fusion reaction here on Earth has eluded scientists for decades. Achieving net positive energy paves the way for fusion to move from a lab science to a usable energy source. Fusion is particularly attractive given the increasing urgency of climate change because it produces no carbon emissions, nor does it produce the long-lasting nuclear waste associated with nuclear fission. Nuclear fission versus fusion. This is what is done today, right? Again, they're some call it one step toward the holy grail of green energy. We've got some 90 nuclear power plants here in the United States still operating. They're saying that it's gonna be decades before that they could scale this up. Again, what I'm trying to say is that you can do better than that. Yeah, when we decide, okay, you know what, we're going to put people, into space. We're going to put people on the moon. We did it. We did it. This is one of these things where all hands should be on deck. If we got together, we actually used our heads. And again, I get it. There's so many entrenched interests right now with windmills and solar panels. This is an example of true creative destruction. I don't know. You find a way out for some of these companies where they can invest in this type of technology that makes a hell of a lot more sense. Maybe we do something to speed up the permitting process when it comes to nuclear power plants and the modular plants and get them out to hold us over until this technology could be scaled. Doesn't that make greater sense? But yeah, there is an entire industry. There are politicians that are invested. Our government has invested in these things. And again, we've been investing in them since the 1970s. Here's a way out. Why not focus like a laser beam on this? I mean, this is something, hey, you know what? You could involve the existing oil companies to be investing in this so they can profit from this down the road. There's a myriad of things we can do, but this type of technology it's extraordinary. Really is. Anyway, I mentioned this guy, and I didn't get to talk about him on air. We were talking off air about Twitter and some of the crap that was going on and how Elon Musk fired this Twitter censor, Yoel Roth, who was involved in all sorts of underhanded crap. Oh, it gets worse. This guy has a doctoral thesis, and his thesis, he supports letting children use the Hook Up app, Grinder, It's a gay hookup app. And he thinks that it's great for kids to learn how to use this. This is part of his doctoral thesis. This guy was the head of trust and safety. I don't know. Again, it's that song by Radiohead, "Creep." If I was in Hollywood right now, because I know that I'm not the only one that thinks like this. I'd be coming up with superheroes that were targeting creeps like this. Yeah, I mean, this is a whole nother world of evil that we're involved with, and it just needs to be done away with, from the human trafficking to the child porn, all of this stuff. Major force of evil in our world, and people are everywhere, for crying out loud. Jeez, this guy's the head of trust and safety at Twitter. Yeah, let children go on to the gay hookup act. Anyway, got to change gears here. Great story today as well. A new Moderna cancer vaccine, when paired with Merck's Keytruda, produced a positive clinical outcome in a mid-stage trial. The drug combination provided a statistically significant result in stopping the reoccurrence of the skin cancer melanoma after surgery in patients. This is great news. Again, they're using the same technology, that mRNA technology that was used with their COVID vaccine. And, we talked about this in the past. This is an amazing technology that we need to continue to study it because of the potential and the things that it's capable of doing. Again, I just read a little bit on the surface today. Keytruda, Merck's Keytruda, is a drug that basically helps. Your immune system is constantly trying to get rid of cancer, but cancer can be wily and is doing everything to evade your resistance against it. Keytruda makes that more difficult for cancer cells. Combining these two, it's interesting. They're both participating together. It's now moved into stage 3 trials. It's a 50-50 partnership. And both are going to, we're going to share in the profits and also the costs that are involved. But again, it's good news. Good news. Another bit of good news as well. I checked it, and again, if you catch me and I'm wrong on this, you caught me. But for the life of me, I have never seen an order this big, airplane order. United Airlines is buying 100 787 Dreamliner wide-body jets with an option to purchase 100 more. United says it now expects to take delivery of about 700 new narrow and wide-body aircraft by 2032, with the ability to choose among the 787-8, 9, or 10 models. Wow. I try to find a larger order in history, and you just can't. Again, it's great news, and obviously a positive look when it comes to the airline industry in the future and people moving here, there, and everywhere. These airlines, again, they're much more profitable to run. They're much more efficient. No doubt about that. Anyway, have a great day, everybody. WatchdogOnWallStreet.com is our site. WatchdogOnWallStreet.com. We'll see you.